much more cordial fashion. A welcome party Thursday night, and every one of the 16 teams were there to have a great time. And yesterday, the tournament began pool play. They played one game yesterday. Games took place earlier today, and now you play everyone in your pool a total of 3 times. Getting set for Harvard and Notre Dame. And we just saw Jimmy's feature on the history of rugby. Harvard, the first rugby club in the U.S. 1872. Take a look at their starting 7.
Well, they may be the oldest, but they're putting their hopes on a very young man, just a freshman. The hooker, Gabe Cunningham, led his high school to a near national championship, already on the look-see list by Coach Al Caravelli, who you met with Jimmy just a moment ago. On the other side, how about from the one of the youngest to one of the tallest? I mean the tallest. Nick Savetta, the prop over there. He is 6'7", an All-American at Notre Dame, and he'll be going to the All-American selections camp in Colorado next week. And there he is. That would be very big green.
As if we had to point him out. I mean, once you see them all on the field together, you can't miss the guy. 6'7", 254 pounds. It's the Irish who will kick off.
Yeah, he might be the only guy to pull down 6 or 7 rebounds. All right, that kick does not go far enough, so Harvard already the recipient of a gift.
Back 10, gentlemen.
Kick did not go 10 yards. As a result, free kick to Harvard, and they are now in business on the Notre Dame side of the field. Nice pickup, nice handle that time, no knock on. Oh, ball handling just dreadful by Harvard to get started. A near knock on and then a knock on. Harvard having a little trouble scoring. They've only scored 1 try through their first 2 games. Now, mind you, their first game against Juggernaut, California.
Cal has just sailed through this so far. And in 15s won their 25th national title earlier this season.
That was a pretty tough assignment for David Gonzalez's crew right out of the gate. And there you see the 4th-year head coach, born in England, knows the game well, and hoping to get his Chargers back into a winning fashion this afternoon.
For Notre Dame, it's Aaron Mannheimer, who is not their normal 15s coach. Sean O'Leary is. He is the director of rugby here. But
big hit after a good pass.
McCumber getting it back to the big man, Nick Savetta.
Impressive catch by the big man. Takes it into tackle. Notre Dame with numbers outside.
Penalty advantage over.
Andy Mullen flips it out. Patrick Toole takes it in.
Here comes the touchdown right near center point. That'll make for a much easier conversion. Nice bit of work by the Fighting Irish after Harvard let him have the possession. Simply move it outside. Just got numbers. It's a fast break right now.
Penalty advantage over.
Cross line. He could have scored the touchdown right there. Instead, he takes it to the center. That is a point from where his kicker's conversion will be attempted.
And Sean Mitchell, the junior from Naperville, Illinois, just outside Chicago, says, "Thank you very much for getting me right in front."
And did not convert.
Wow. You don't see that all that often from just in front. So Mitchell cannot convert. It's 5-0. Toole from Westport, Connecticut. And the Irish, it's a program that started back in 1961 but was disbanded in the 1990s until 2007 for inexcusable misconduct is what they called it. So it's Sean O'Leary's the guy who started it back up, and they've had pretty good success the last 3 years.
Yeah, it was pretty lonely in American rugby without the that brand, that Notre Dame participation. And they're doing a good job to get the program reset.
And there is
wrong one. Penalty was against you, young man. Don't pick it up.
Sean O'Leary right there. Just want to point that out. Third-year head coach of the Irish. Aaron Mannheimer, though, the head coach of the Chicago Lions Sevens, who won a national title in Club Division I Rugby Sevens, is coaching this weekend.
There's the knock on by Harvard. Notre Dame playing with advantage right now. They toss the ball away. Boy, the simple act of passing, not necessarily so simple. All 7 players have to have that skill, and so far both teams having a little struggle with completing passes. That would explain why through the first 2 games, Harvard with 1 try and Notre Dame with just 2 tries.
Pause, engage.
Good scrum by Notre Dame.
Chris Pasegan, and they kick it ahead. Trying to chase it down is Alex McCumber. Can't do it.
Heads up play. McCumber.
Harvard comes up with it. What kind of changes have you seen from coaches overall from day 1 to day 2?
One thing, I think they're all trying to keep the ball in hand. There are very few kicks. Now, McCumbers doesn't count because he couldn't grab it. It was his best option. But you take a look at these players, even Harvard at their own end right now, trying to maintain the possession. Again, we go back to that point. After a while, the young men realize it's much harder to play defense than it is offense. It's grueling. A lot more energy is expended playing defense, and that's exactly what you want to do, like a heavyweight fight. Wear down your opponent. Keep the ball in your hand.
And Johnny Miller, a senior from Denver, who's only 5'7", plays much bigger than that, though. Shaken up on that play, one of the Harvard captains last year.
The blind side, nice feed back inside. Good support by Notre Dame. Do they get it in? They're going to visit whether or not he actually grounded it or Harvard held it up. He grounded it.
Nick Severin, the captain, also from Naperville, able to get in for 5.
Starts with a good scrum. We mentioned that a moment ago. Nice switch pass back inside. Great support that time by Severin. Scored one of the few tries against Cal this weekend. Yep. Forward progress, so to speak. Try awarded.
So as they took a look at that, or they discussed it at least, we took another look. What were they trying to decide exactly?
To make sure that he legally had put it down inside, and Harvard did not have a hand underneath it to prevent him actually lawfully touching it down for the try.
Yeah, Sean Mitchell not close on this one either, so he's 0 for 2. This one a much more difficult angle.
That, and also the referee may have been out of position to see, and as we did see, Severin did not. If Nick actually slightly knocked it on, that's a possibility. The player hitting the ground, the ball comes loose and then covers over it again.
So the Irish with some success here. Sean O'Leary, who we saw a moment ago, said, you know, in sevens, this is a program not just in its infancy, we're in the womb. I mean, we are nowhere close to where we want to be. Pretty good success today so far.
Burke on the outside. This is the best opportunity so far by Harvard. Although they turn it over near midfield. The Irish. That's a great hit near midfield. That slows Notre Dame, but opening up the door for Notre Dame.
McCumber looked to have the edge, but he slowed up. Decided to take it back the other way, and the Irish lose it.
Well, they've been out there for 6.5 minutes. He may have thought, maybe I just don't have the gas, looking for some support.
And Savetta, hard hit.
It's one of the first things that coaches address with their players, particularly in sevens, is unlike American sports where you can watch your other player break away and try to score himself, you've got to be in support. You've got to play around the ball.
You know what's great about this game? You've got Johnny Miller at 5'7", standing right next to Nick Savetta at 6'7", and they're going at it.
Well, they got Nick Savetta to lean over for the moment.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so Harvard, as time runs out, play continues.
Exactly what Harvard did not need, although the referee Zap says that's enough for the first half.
All right, so Aaron Mannheimer, the coach of the Irish here in Columbus, enjoying this one. 10-0 Notre Dame.
"16 college teams compete in the most grueling 7-minute halves in sports. The Rugby Sevens Collegiate Championship continues tomorrow live on Universal Sports.
On my grill.
Won't you just play nice?